away from us late third quarter, the last minute or two of the third. We were right in the game, and then they kind of got, if I remember correctly, they got to the rim 3 or 4 times, laid it in. So our defense kind of broke down, but I think we ran out of gas. I think fatigue showed up at that stage of the game and in the fourth, and Minnesota got hot. They played really well during that stretch, and it was too much for us.
How do you look back at this whole trip? I mean, you knew coming in it was going to be a challenge with the teams you were facing, but then to go 1-3 and to do it the way you did it, how do you sort of sum it up?
1-3 is disappointing, obviously, for a team of our caliber. But we understand what's going on right now. We're in a tough spot, just like every team faces every year. And this is our time right now with some of the injuries, and so it's okay. We'll bounce back, and it'll be really nice to get home. And I think we got our next seven at home, and hopefully get guys back, and we'll move on.
He obviously does so much for you guys, but where did you miss Draymond the most tonight?
In a lot of ways, it might have just been pace. He just keeps the pace going for our team so well. Made baskets. He gets the ball out and pushes it up the floor, and it puts the defense on its heels. And I didn't feel like we played with much pace tonight. We obviously missed Draymond in every way. Such a good player, but that stood out to me tonight, that we didn't have much pace. And obviously Steph's absence had something to do with that too. But guys competed. They played hard. They shared the ball. Just wasn't our night.
What's the key to maintaining what you've been defensively over the next several weeks, without your best defensive player?
We got to maintain our principles, what we teach every day. We got to defend without fouling. We got to protect the paint. We got to rotate. We got to rebound. All those things. It's just the basics, and I'm confident that we can do that.
You mentioned the 7 straight at home. How much can that help, and how much is that needed given where you're at right now, as you said?
Yeah, it's needed in that, our guys need to get home and see their families and sleep in their own bed and get some rest. And so it's coming, and that's great. I think everybody is excited to get home and get a little rest and get back at it on Tuesday.
Elites has obviously had some nice performances for you throughout the season. Tonight obviously 4 turnovers. How do you get him kind of back on track a little bit more?
Belly does a lot of great things for us nightly, whether his shot is going in or not. I thought he was fantastic against Chicago. The ball moves when he's out there. There's a flow to the game. Tonight wasn't his night. He had some turnovers and didn't shoot the ball particularly well on this trip, but he's a vet. He's been around for a while, and he will continue to help us win games.
It seemed like one positive thing on this trip is Kuminga taking a clear step forward. Yeah. What did you think of the way he played tonight and these last 3 games, just sort of the progress he's shown?
Yeah, it was a great trip for him. It didn't start out very well in Memphis. He didn't play particularly well in his G League performance, but I thought he really responded well coming off of that game, and competed really hard in Milwaukee and Chicago, and did a lot of good things tonight too, and a lot of things that he has to learn can only be learned through experience. So mistakes that he makes are totally expected because it's impossible to know everything you need to know about the NBA when you arrive at 19. So every minute is an important minute for JK. He's made big strides here in recent weeks, and we'll continue to push him, and I know he'll continue to work.
You kind of touched on the defense at the end of the third quarter, start of the fourth, but you guys missed like 16 straight shots. What about offensively? What was going on during that time?
I thought we had some good looks. We we moved the ball. We got it into the paint and just couldn't knock anything down. They did a good job. Minnesota did a good job defensively. We did a much better job taking care of the ball in the second half than we did in the first, and we had some good stretches. You know, we put together a really good run to start the third quarter. But as I said, I thought we ran out of gas a little bit, and that showed up at both ends of the floor.
You mentioned the G League game that Kuminga struggled. I meant to ask you about that. I mean, was that potentially a kind of a wake-up call type game for him? You guys did seem a little upset with
Yeah, he didn't run the floor hard. You know, it was disappointing, and we talked to him about it, and he understood and he responded really well. So this is all part of the process for JK. It's you know, there's a lot to absorb, a lot to learn, and it's not always going to be easy. And you know, but I like I said, I'm really proud of him for the way he responded these last few games.
One last Kuminga question. It seems like when he puts the ball on the floor and goes to the hoop, he's extraordinarily difficult to stop.
Yeah.
And sometimes he seems not sure if he should shoot from outside or do that. Or is the fact that he's going to the hoop more sort of an important step in his evolution?
Yeah, I mean, it's I've said this many times, but the biggest thing that anybody needs to learn when they get to the NBA is when to dribble, when to pass, and when to shoot. You know, there's a rhythm and a timing to the game, but the NBA game happens really fast. And so it usually takes young players time to adapt to the speed, because you're constantly having to read all these situations and look at all these pictures, and you have to make these decisions. And we talk about 0.5 basketball. We expect our guys to make decisions in, you know, half a second. But it's like anything else in life. You have to experience it to learn. You have to make these decisions. And we talk about 0.5 basketball. We expect our guys to make decisions in, you know, half a second. But it's like anything else in life. You have to experience it to learn. Your brain